What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to give you guys an urgent market update as Bitcoin has taken a little bit of a fall. Now, if you guys watch my live streams, you will know that the charts have been absolutely littered with mixed signals, but there is one thing that we've been looking at that could have been suggesting some more downside. And although this signal may not even be playing out yet, I want to touch on that signal one more time in case we wind up seeing it play out. I want to show you guys the bigger levels to the downside that we have to be watching if this move is going to push us to lower prices. And I also want to talk to you guys about my general sentiment on the market right now. Am I bullish in the long term? Is this the start of a bigger move to the downside? Or is this just going to be a small move or one of those lackluster moves that I talk about all the time before continuing to the upside? So in this video, I want to go over all of those things with you guys and hopefully clear some things up for you guys so you have a better understanding of where Bitcoin is likely to go next, so you can see these moves coiling up before they happen, just like we do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart. Now, this is the 4-hour. So first off, obviously, we have gotten a bit of a move down from the highs here, and this is interesting for more than one reason, guys. Obviously, we have been looking at some things specifically on Market Cipher B that could be indicating that there is a bigger move to the downside coming, and this has not even happened yet, but I do just want to touch on this because I've been talking about it a lot, and that is the money flow on the 4-hour time frame. Now, you can see the money flow is continuing to just roll over to the downside. Over the weekend, we continued to see this come down, and a lot of times, guys, this could be the sign of some more downside, especially when we have a confirmed bearish divergence like we do right here with our higher highs on price and our lower highs on our momentum waves. A lot of times, guys, when you see this happen, especially into a key level of resistance, and especially when money flow starts to follow suit, this could sometimes mark a significant top in the market, and it could indicate much more downside to come. But obviously, guys, there had been a bunch of mixed signals on the charts last week, but as you guys know, there has been a lot of mixed signals on the chart recently, so this has been a little bit of an unclear signal, but it is continuing to come out, and this may be the start of a bigger move down. Now, on top of this, not only do we now have the money flow about to cross over into the red on the 4-hour, but we also have our green dot on the daily essentially getting completely invalidated here, and we now also have a potential bearish divergence on the daily time frame, which in my opinion is even stronger than a bearish divergence on the 4-hour. Well, I don't know if that's really my opinion. I guess you can consider that somewhat of a fact, but this is another pretty bearish sign, guys. If you guys remember from our live stream on Monday, we were talking about that daily green dot being one of the main bullish cases here for Bitcoin, breaking these highs and coming up to much higher prices, looking up towards that $33,000 level. But now we have been completely invalidated here with a print of a red dot, and again, making this a bearish divergence. And on a time frame like the daily, that is not the best sign. Now, on top of that, guys, we also have that 2-day red dot, another thing that we have been looking at on the channel during my live streams at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is not printing, but I have seen this flash on certain exchanges, so it is about to pop up likely in the next 9 hours or so. We will print and potentially confirm that red dot on the 2-day, which again would be a more bearish sign. And guys, don't forget, if you find value in these urgent market updates, if you like Frankie Candles, keeping the candle lit for you guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to smash the like and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of these timely market updates, guys. These are time sensitive, so you want to get notified as soon as they get uploaded. But just coming up into these higher time frames, as we've been talking about on my live streams, the VWAPs on these daily time frames are starting to come down, again indicating some more potential downside for Bitcoin. Not necessarily expecting a massive move down just yet, and I'm also not calling for the death of this bear market rally just yet, but these VWAPs do indicate some more downside in the medium term, but really it's this money flow in the green that we want to watch for the longer term sentiment, which, by the way, I am still bullish in the long term, guys. We could come down a bit deeper here, and I would even still maintain my bullish sentiment to put in a higher low and then continue to the upside. So just because we're getting a little dump here does not change my bullish outlook in the long term, but obviously I have been leaning a little bit more bearish in the shorter or medium term because of that 4-hour money flow. And I will maintain that sentiment as well, but we'd have to come down pretty far. As long as we don't crack this low here at about $24,880, I would maintain my longer-term bullish sentiment. So I'm not really panicking until we come down to those lows. But again, these VWAPs on the higher daily time frames could indicate some more downward price action for Bitcoin. Again, we've talked about this on the live stream many times, and now that we have that daily bearish divergence potentially going to confirm here today, and that green dot is now invalidated, this does put a lot of the weight back onto the bears, just because, you know, on my live stream on Monday, I was kind of saying, like, guys, these bearish signs are definitely here, but because of the daily green dot, because of the 16-hour green dot, because of a lot of these things, I was expecting a bigger push up. It actually, unfortunately, wound up being a bit lackluster here on Monday, and now we obviously have just reversed to the downside. So the bull signals were there. The bear signals are there. On Monday, I was kind of starting to come away from the bearish leaning sentiment in the medium term because of the green dot on the daily, saying, hey, guys, if this green dot, you know, winds up giving us a move, it's probably going to be that big breakout of the bullpen and everybody's expecting. Now we're just broken right back down into the range. So real quick, before I let you guys go, let's go over the key levels we need to be watching in the short term, and then I will also show you some more macro levels. So if we get a big breakdown, you guys could be ready for that move as well. So taking a look here locally, guys, next major level of support is going to be down here at this value area low, coming in at about $30,070, give or take a few bucks. If we do wind up coming down here, guys, this is going to be a pretty important level to hold. Obviously, it's the value area low of our range. We also have a previous value area low down here at about, $29,950. So I have this as a range. If price winds up coming up here on a retrace and we wind up coming back down, this is going to be a very, very important level to be watching, not only for long positions, but also because if we wind up losing this level, I would be expecting much more downside. We do have this next level of potential support here. We may swing fail this level at $29,523. We have this wick down here from all the way back from Friday. And this would be technically the next level I'm watching locally. And these are the major levels, guys. If we wind up losing this value area low or just kind of this range of support in general, I would expect a bigger move down for Bitcoin. And then again, like your next level would be 29,523. But again, these are more local levels, guys. I do want to talk a little bit more about the macro levels as well. So let me just go ahead and turn those on really quickly. And as you guys know, I'm actually going to go ahead and hide some of the local levels here so we don't get confused. But I do just want to point out here, guys, you want to remember that we are in this more macro value area from May of 2022 right here. If we zoom out a bit, we have our value area high up here, our POC down here at about $31,160. We have our value area high up here at $31,413. And then the value area low is down here at about 28.690. So these are going to be three major key levels. You can see I talked about that bearish divergence on the 4-hour coming in at a key level. This was that key level. It was the value area high of our macro range from May of 2022. So what do we know? What do we know about the volume profiles, guys? We know once you reject that high, you are likely to come back down towards at least that POC, which we just came down and tapped. But we are also expecting potentially to lose that POC and then potentially come down to this value area low. And that is why that local range right here is so important, guys, because if you pull that range, you can see that that point of control lines up almost perfectly with the value area low of the range. So if you wind up losing the value area low, you're basically losing the POC. And when you lose the POC and can't get back above it, you're expecting to come down to lower prices. And the next likely place for price to go once you lose that POC is going to be the value area low at $28,675. And then don't forget the top of this blue box is going to be a level to watch as well at about $29,290. It's a previous value area low from back in the day from our bull market. It is a very, very, very important level, guys. I would argue that this blue box is going to be the most important levels of support that we need to be watching, at least in the medium to longer term. If we start losing these, that is where I would start looking for some more downside for Bitcoin, because as you can see, once you lose the top of this blue box, if you don't get a strong bounce off the value area high, it is very likely that you're going to get accepted back into this area of balance, potentially locking you into that range and bringing bringing you back down towards that POC, coming down closer to the 26,000s, which I'm not even going to talk about those lower prices just yet because they're still kind of far away. But we have to be careful because if we lose that blue box, we will be in danger of getting accepted back into this range, which would open the door to much lower prices. And on top of that, when we pull up our VPVR, granted, this is just locally. You could see a lot of times when you get those quick moves up, you can get those quick moves down, and we do have a decent fall off of volume right here. You do have a lot of high volume nodes within there, so I don't know if it's going to be a super quick drop, but there is a little bit of fall off in volume locally here, so you may expect to get a little bit of a quicker move through that level. But you can see once you start incorporating these candles from back here, you actually do have a decent bit of support in here. But again, you know, it doesn't mean you're going to bounce out of there. You may just kind of grind down. Again, once you lose that value area high, you are in danger of getting accepted back into this range, and that's why that level is so important. So guys, I think that's all the time I got for today's market update. Now, again, you want to watch that 4-hour money flow crossover into the red. I do think if we are going to get a bigger move down, that may be the thing to start the move. Now, locally, it does look like we may get a little bit of a retracement here, but in the medium term, guys, those are the key levels to be watching, you know, if we don't want to see any more downside for Bitcoin. But again, these signs were on the charts all last week. They were a little clouded once that green dot popped up on the daily. But again, that just got invalidated, and now all those other bearish signals are starting to show face. So be careful out there. And with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frank's Candles out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like.